your will protest. And you can never go anywhere. So Paul says, I beg you that you transform yourselves by the renewal of your mind, because it will make you a big difference. Let me now talk with you about a few pillars that will build a strong mind. Having looked at Moses and looking at Paul, the men who built strong mindset and they made strong changes and they brought strong movements, they exercised these few things. Number one, the converted life. The converted life. Or if you want your mindset to happen, the conversion of your life is important. Look at Moses. From the palace, he got converted into a new way of looking at things. Your mind must be transformed. Let me put it in 3 words. Your mind needs to be reformed, transformed, and transfigured. I saw when these machines went off, I saw a young man came here and he was configuring this thing again. Because when power went off, it changed a number of things. And so somebody had to come to reform, transform, and transfigure. So the thing was transfigured properly. So it now began to operate well. When the conversion cannot do that for you, your mind cannot work properly. Don't come to salvation and think it's an easy game. It's a huge game. So the conversion of your life matters for the transformation of your brain, so that the new mindset gets built on you. A new converted my life. And I want to encourage you to think deeper about your conversion. Moses converted. Paul converted. Everybody converted. When your heart, when your life is converted, you begin to build a new mindset. When you get married, you come to the marriage as a girl. And for 1 week you almost behave like that girl. And the second week, you begin to think, no, I'm not that girl. Even for the boy, for the first week, you just behave like you're a boy. The second week, you begin to realize things have changed. So the process of conversion from a boy to a husband must happen. If it doesn't happen, that marriage will break. The conversion of your life helps you to build a new mindset. And but when your life is converted, then you are able to play with the heart. Like we play with the camera and you focus it. And you focus it. And you get a good picture. That's what you will do with your life. Think about the conversion of your life. Because it's the center of turning out your heart and refocusing your mind. Look at Moses again. He begins to think. His first thinking was, let me kill this Egyptian. He realizes that was the wrong spot. He runs away for his life. And God makes him a learner for 40 years. And the life converted. Life converted. When the conversion took place, he returned back to Egypt with a new mindset. Very strong, able to deliver the children of Israel. But he built it for 40 years. I want to encourage you, my brothers and my sisters, explore your conversion. Because the secret of building your mind lies on the conversion of your life. When you transition completely, it makes a big difference. When I got married to Rose, we were very poor people. Absolutely poor. Rose had a younger sister that was married to a soldier. They had money. The man was rich. He was a major. And he had every power that he needed. Food in his home was plenty. We were not even able to afford bread. So when we went up to visit them, if we keep going there and get the things we need from there, what is our future? We decided that we will not go there, but we will work by ourselves. And we started to work to build our own family. The conversion of your mind helps you to refocus life, so you do not just become a dependent of something. The second thing we got, when we got ourselves into search, we stabilized. A converted life brings stability. Stability. It focuses your mind. Think about yourself and your marriage. When your marriage is wobbling, do you know what your mind becomes? Also wobbling. But when you come to a marriage and it is stable, your brain shoots up. Shoot up. The conversion of your life is important. Now I want to encourage all of you to think like that, because it makes all big difference. We cannot be changed from outside. We can be changed from inside. In the outside we are restless. On the outside we are rebellious. But the conversion of your life brings surrender to God and brings stability and turns your heart to be obedient, and your brain begins to be stable. This is the lesson I want to introduce to you. Again, like Paul puts it, then your mind is set to become an instrument that proves good things, that proves acceptable things, that proves perfect things, that understands the will of God. The conversion of your life. The second thing is the stability of your life. I told you about Moses. I even told you about Paul. When Paul got saved with his religious life, he was moving to and fro. Moses was becoming so aggressive. He was not stable. My brother and my sister, how stable is your life? How stable is your life? Do you know that we live in a world which drive us into instability? A lot of instability in the world we live in. And Uganda is a country that we all mark and we know it. And that's why the president has soldiers at hand. Because we are not stable. You cannot be trusted. Somebody has to stand on your head with a stick. That mind never brings development. Never. There is no progress in a life that is not stable. Building a mindset of this kind becomes very difficult. It leads us away from good things. It makes us panic because our lives are not stable. We are not sure of the day. We are not sure of tomorrow. I have seen men that have withdrawn from their families because they don't trust the woman next to him. So he keeps everything away. You are unstable. A mind that is built well is based on stability. And that's what God wants for your life. A stable mind, a stable life is a key to success. It's a key to progressive thinking. It's a key to understanding that is better. How stable is your life? When Moses stabilized, he came back with a peaceful mind. Stable mind. The stable mind leads him to others. Together, they went to Pharaoh. Free our people. Stable. No amount of resistance deterred Moses. A stable person starts a project and will finish it. There will be difficulties along the way. But when your mind is stable, you will pick it and move on with it. Stable minds face challenges without fear because they are sure of their foundation. And their minds cannot be threatened. Do you know we are threatened from the mind? If your mind is stable, it doesn't run away. A stable mind explores possibilities and plans progress over those things. I told you before, it brings you out, it takes you through, and takes you in. It's a stable mind. Some of us are having problems only for a simple thing: you are not stable. I have friends that I have worked with. When the mind is disturbed, even the key on the table, you don't see. You keep passing. I'm looking for my keys. I'm looking for my keys. And even you look for a key when it's in your hand. It's the mind. It has blinded your eyes. We cannot walk like that, brethren. A strong mindset brings stability in us. And that stability helps to fuel up that mind towards great Great progress. A stable mind proves again what is good, tests what is acceptable, understands what is perfect, measures the will of God for itself. Number 3, Moses and Paul, but above all Moses. If you want a strong mindset, obedience to God. How obedient is your life? Moses is known as the friend of God, but he's also known as a man who was obedient and humble to God. Your mind cannot be built when you are not obedient. When you have a rebellious life, just look at rebellious people. What do rebellious people have? Nothing. No one will give them something. No one will trust them because they are rebellious. When they get things, they go and destroy them. They go and misuse them. Obedient life. No submission. And that is the life that will build a strong mindset. You maintain such a great thing, my brother. It is impossible to have obedient heart without a stable heart. Stability is what we all need, because it will bring birth to an obedient life. And I can assure you, God has asked us 2 things. Jesus says, if you obey me, what else is the limit? Some of us want to do many good things, but we are rebellious. It is those who obey that will be resourced by God from time to time. And your mind will be built strong. Let's measure the degree of our obedience, because it helps us to see more, and we can advance in a greater way. An obedient life is what is needed, and Moses had it. What I'm telling you is the beauty that his mother saw in him when he was born. He was an obedient child. His life was obedient. The mother knew one day he will obey God, and one day God will make him great. One day that obedient life will win loyalty from the people. Do you know why some people surround some people? They have a stable mind, an obedient life. Number 4, Moses was resilient. His life was a life that would go however tough things may be. Moses stood. He was not a man who was going to go off. A resilient life feeds the mind and makes your mindset strong. And there will be no problem in front of you that you cannot stand. And remember what God said to General Joshua. And he said to Joshua, who was a general, a man who was always a good fighter, but God said to him, Joshua, be courageous. Why do you tell a soldier like that? who is in the front line, and you are a mere villager. No. But a soldier needed to be told to be resilient, because things that were in front of him were tougher things. For most of us in church, we are like babies. You like somebody to pat you on the back. If you want to be great, if you want to be things working, your mind must be built for resilience. Your mind must be built for tougher terrains. Your mind must be built for hardship. And hear the voice of God. Have a resilient life. There is a day God feeds us with milk. There is a day when He feeds us with food. But it's a day when He feeds us with bones. You don't give bones to children. But bones must be given to resilient people. The Bible says, whose minds are able to discern. What I'm teaching you today, I know it's a high top, but I'm believing God will make you understand. I'm praying for you that you will understand these things. Build a strong mindset. Karamoja, you will be changing by a strong mindset. You need a resilient life. That life will continue to take you on. You know the value of resilient life? And your muscles are tested. I've been to Kapchorwa. And we drove over to the top of where they have the athlete field. And my car there had a real tough time, because the hill is like this. And when we were going, I could hear the engine building the muscle. Building the muscle for climbing. And the engine was building the muscle, because it's an automatic engine. It's not the one you change the gears. But this one had to build. Then you hear the gear go. It's climbing up. And the terrain is getting higher. When you are resilient, you are building the muscle of your mind, the muscle of your heart, the muscle of your feelings. So when tough days come, you are there. In 2023, I went to Nairobi for a conference. And on the day we were leaving, that night, I was dying. I was dying. I was dying. That's what happened to me. I had diarrhea that I could not control. And my legs became weak. I remember scrolling from the toilet just to get back to my bed, because I had left my phone there. And I fell and grabbed my phone. I called Shishmon. I said to him, come quick. And he came quickly. I told him I'm dying. I don't have any feet. I can't stand anymore. I did not know that I had completely dehydrated. And I was dying. And so they quickly brought a vehicle. They rushed us to a dispensary that was near. Those people quickly put me up. And they were adding water into my body. All my bones were painful. You've never seen pain. And you have never been in pain. Talk about your headache. It is nothing. I have been in pain. And I have stood in pain. And pain had rested me. And I was going. I whispered to Sismon. I said, let's get away from here. Take me back to the hotel. Because I needed a large bed. Because I was in pain. And pain was turning me up and down. That's what happened to me. I said to them again. I crawled to my phone the second time. I told him, please find me help. We got back. The pastor pulled his car. He sat me back on the car. They hoped that I would get to hospital. They drove us at breakneck speed. We got to the expressway. And we were at 120. Just to get me to Aga Khan. And we got to Aga Khan. We went through the emergency gate. And the doctors were already there. There were more than 10 doctors. There were more than 10 nurses. They all came with trollers. While the car was running, the nurses pulled me from the car. They put me on a troller. They drove me to emergency room. And all the doctors came up. They had water. I had something here, another one here, another one on my leg. And they brought things I'd never seen. I am finished. And the doctors were working out to find what the problem was. And they worked from 2 o'clock. 6 p.m. We are still in the emergency room. Every 1 hour, they took my blood for test. Every 1 hour, just to find out the problem. So by 6 p.m., they found that I had hit cholera. And all my body was gone. There was no water in my body. They were just adding me water. Adding me water. The doctor, I heard the doctor say, this man has cholera. And I'm there, smiling. You can't be, I'm resilient. I'm holding on to my life. I'm holding to my life. I say, God, take my body but my life. I want it here. 8 p.m. The doctor comes back. They discover the second problem. My kidneys failed. He said to me, whispered to me, say, man, do you know kidney dialysis? Because we are going to do kidney dialysis on you. Your kidneys have died. I told him, doctor, you do what you want to do. Do it. And so they pricked me here. They got something inside me. And I'm lying down there. I lay there up to midnight. And those doctors were there still with me. Every hour they took my blood. And they were testing. 2 a.m. They now shifted me from there to another emergency ward. They put me up there. And about 5 doctors were with me to the morning. And they look at me.